Welcome back to you, Bubblegum. Did you notice that the crypto prices are down? When red candles come, I feel sad. But look at this, we're having a wee bit of cry. Did you know there was another chart, friends? There's actually, if you go to your trading view, there's a button up here. See W? W stands for friendship. You can actually change it to a weekly chart and you can be like, oh, wow. Look at all our little pain and misery all in his wee little candle. Isn't that funny to see everyone go nuts after that? Don't worry, I feel it too. I wake up and I'm like, oh, we got rugged again, did we? What's going on? The world markets are pooping themselves because this is just what happens. There's always uncertainties, inflation, it's Fed, doesn't really matter. The markets always look for a reason just to turn the other way. Technicals will probably tell you that there was some high RSI or divergence or something was playing out. It's very interesting. This is the Fed Watch tool. It is showing you the interest rate probability of what's coming next. You can see there is a FOMC, otherwise known as FOMC, in 19 days. And what's going on here is the rates changed so that they expect another hike. And it's now at 91.8%. That's like near certainty, which has even surprised me because the numbers are pretty much a scam, but they're actually putting them up higher. And it's very funny, as soon as I said the word scam, my whole browser just literally deleted itself. So now we are back. Oh, friends, it's funny just to see all this crazy stuff happening. You know, when you're having a look at this, just remember that the CPI is going down no matter what because of the way they measure it. They only measure 12 months. They change it. It used to be 24 months. They only measure 12 months. And see, what people don't know is this CPI, they are measuring the rate of change. So they are only looking at how we were going last year. The numbers are collapsing lower. And this is interesting to see. The market must think that there is some sticky inflation coming around. But what's been actually happening on? You know what's funny? You think you're a degenerate in crypto? Well, let me tell you something, all right? So bonds have been selling off. Have a look at this. Okay, I've got this nice, beautiful tweet for you. If you thought crypto was degen, wait until you hear about pension funds, all right? So let's go to the next part. Because rates were so low for so long, the UK pension funds had to do some leverage to make up for the yield. So by the way, every pension fund in basically every country did this. Every single one. Because they had rates at 0 to 1% for like 10 years. So they need to make up that 4% yield. How do you make up the yield? Because people are retiring. They need that yield. So this is what they did. They went and did leverage. 1% wasn't enough. They had to do 4%. And of course, the deal is that they thought there would be a methodical type of selling off of the bonds over time and they'll be looked after. Nope. No, they're not. And now the market is hunting them. This is the UK, the British 10-year gilt bonds. You can see they are absolutely kaboosh, just like every other bond in the world. We've gone here. You know what's very interesting? I remember this was September to October 2022. This was when the inflation was peaking. And we went up here. I remember we went up here. I promise you. As we started going up here, I looked at it and I said, so I draw your attention to here. When we're here, I said to myself, you know what's interesting? I know if you remove any of the news, you don't know what this chart is. You don't know that it's bonds. You have no idea. But you just know in your heart, you go, you know what? Whenever you see these things come down, there's always a double bottom. There's always something that makes the double bottom chart, okay? You never see anything like this. Whoop, let's go up forever. You rarely see that, especially with such huge capitulations. You never see like, wow, let's go up. That's very, very, very rare. So when it comes to this, you know it's a double bottom. But here was the interesting part. As it was happening up here, when we were up here, I said, what's going to actually give us the news event to make us go down and test that bottom zone? See down here, how something was going to make us come down. I did not know. Now, obviously, you could sit here and guessing, but you're wasting your time to guess because there's just so many things that can happen. So was it going to be oil? Was it going to be like a random food shortage? You know, it could be like food commodities. You know, maybe there's a shortage of wheat. Is it going to be another war with Russia? Like it's going to scare everyone to think inflation's going to come. What's it going to be? Is it going to be some sort of pension fund that has to liquidate? Whatever it is, I promise you, you will go insane just trying to guess what it's going to be. But something's coming. And right on cue, here we go. Here we go. Like, oh, there's some inflation. It's not coming down. It's sticky every single time. It's wild to see Look, it's really true, man. If you look at the chart, it'll tell you what the news is going to be. This is what we actually mean. I mean, I just told you right here. I knew up here. I'm like, these charts usually have some sort of double bottom, but we need a news. We need news because this is such a long time frame, okay? This is weekly time frame. So, you know, people always want to know, why are we going down? Why is this happening? It's funny to see it play out, isn't it? It's almost wild to imagine that if you just take a long-term view, you buy in the depression and you hold, you get to smooth out all these events that come along the way. Because trust me, there's going to be a lot of them. And there's also going to be a lot of our friendship. You know, I have the chart here. Remember, this is my weekly chart for Bitcoin. I have a super trend here, and these dots is just a 21 EMA. I call it my golden ropes, just because, you know, if you're in the ring, a boxer comes and hits you, you got to lean on the golden ropes. You notice we always come back to the golden ropes and we pop off again in the same direction, okay? So you're going to get used to this. You're going to see this from time to time. Now, it's interesting. All our pain and misery is in this one little candle. Like, no, what's happening? Okay, but let me tell you something. Let's go back to the previous bear markets to see, are we actually on track, or is everything happening the way it kind of has happened before? Now, 2019 is what we're just going to have to assume was a special case, because there was the plus token Ponzi. It was so aggressive. If you look at this, right, it was so aggressive. When we went up, when Bitcoin went up, it never pulled back to this 21 EMA until it was literally time to reverse. You see this? It went up, nope. I remember this was like a squeeze of a squeeze of a squeeze. Plus token was a Chinese Ponzi that raised $1 billion, and they were giving everybody, surprise, surprise, passive income yield for Bitcoin and Ethereum. They said they were giving you like 1% a week. They collected $1 billion, and then kabooshed. We went up too much. You know, if Bitcoin repeated this same strength of rally in a straight line, it would take us to about $48,000 to $52,000. But it would have been already done by now. So we would be about 48 to 52 right now. So instead of where we are now, around 30, we'd be up here. See this big difference? This is enormous. But we didn't get there. So that's why if we go back in time, we look at the Mt. Gox bear market Ponzi collapse. This is what we are kind of similar in spirit to. And if you see this, friends, look at this. This is what we actually did. If you notice, we flipped green. So remember, this is a weekly chart. It's a super trend. All it does is it gets to 3 times your ATR, and it goes, okay, whichever way you go up, if you go up, okay, now we are now bullish. If we go down, now we're in the bearish trend. That's it. It's very, very simple. One of my favorites to use. So we turned green in 2015. Okay, look at this. We pulled back once. You can call it maybe twice. We pulled back like once, had this little dip in. We pulled back once or twice, and then we grinded along into it. So we pull back, and then we just like, uh-oh, are we going to go up? Or are we going to go down? You know, it's interesting. You don't know what's coming to the right-hand side. This is the Bitcoin halving run, by the way. So if we just zoom in, have a look at this, okay? Look how disgusting it looks. Look at this. You think it might be over. See, this is the weekly. This is weekly. This is December. You see this? We might be, what we're looking at right now for Bitcoin, we might be looking at one of these red candles. We might need one here, or even up here. We don't know, right? Or it could be even this one, right? Some of these, see these red candles? They go down, you think it's over, and then they're followed by a green one. And, oh no, it's over. Okay, we're back. Oh, it's over. Oh, it's back. This is just what it is. We're basically just rinsing out hope and disbelief. Do you remember the Wall Street cheat sheet? I always bring it up to you, okay? Now you see why I always say to you, friends, always say to you that Wall Street cheat sheet has so much information for us to see. Right here, you can see we are still rinsing out this hope and disbelief. You know, a lot of people, they think that what happens is we go into disbelief and then we become into the hope and the optimism. But let me tell you something. Crypto cycles don't move exactly like this. This is what I've noticed. You'll feel it too. You'll feel it. You don't have to take my word for it. There is a disbelief rally, right? Then it goes long enough to give us hope. We're like, oh, we're so strong. Can we continue? And we're like, oh, hope we don't do it. Let me give you an example of the hope. Do you remember when Vitalik started dumping his Ethereum? You know exactly when he started dumping it. He started dumping it up here. Vitalik started dumping the Ethereum. He started crushing it. He called up the foundation. He said, dump that 15,000 Ethereum on everybody right now. So he got all the Ethereum dumped, and we knew in our hearts, Pepe was rallying. We knew Pepe was rallying. The absolute poopy poop coins, meme coins were rallying. We're like, uh-oh. Vitalik's dumped his Ethereum. Meme coins are rallying. This is literally, we know this is the end. I made so many posts. I'm like, oh, this is so bad. And guess what? After that, coincidentally, SEC tries to ban us all. So we know it's coming. But that was a disbelief run. And then it turned into hope. Now, what was the hope part of it? It was, I hope this time is different. I hope Vitalik doesn't sell the top this time. I hope he's selling halfway the rally. But guess what? We were wrong. I hope this Pepe run starts it. I hope this Pepe run isn't a sign of the end. You see this hope, hope, hope? Well, hope didn't become reality. It was actually the disappointment after all. You know, when we go back and we look at it, it starts to make sense. This is what markets do, right? The rinsing, friends. You know, you rinse your hands in the sink. This is exactly what happens. It goes to disbelief. I can't believe you're rallying in a bear market when there's so much bad news. And then it becomes hope. It's funny. The market goes just far enough, just long enough, and sits there just long enough to make everybody believe a recovery is actually possible. And then bang in your face, this rally is going to fail like all the others. That's SEC, Gary Gensler coming. Now we have another one coming. We have, oh my God, there's going to be inflation. It's coming back again. This inflation's never going to come down. All of these things is exactly what makes up the market. That's why people get drained out. That's why you're going to start to see in this time, all right, this is where people become short-term bearish traders. This is where people start to lose it. They actually start to lose it. So all of the money they made bearish and shorting, this is where they actually start to lose it. So because they're in disbelief. They don't believe that it's going to keep going up and up and up and their DCA averages are going to not work out. This is also the time people stray away from long-term investments the most. This is where they start to bleed off. They probably will indulge in, airdrop farming, yield farming, any type of leverage product out there which mixes and matches financial derivatives. They will go and they will 100% go and explore that because there's certainty there. Because all you know is pain. All you know and we know is just going down and down and down and down and down for like 2 years, man. So I don't blame them for wanting a little bit of certainty and consistency in their life. I don't blame them. But hey, that doesn't mean we're going to go do it. No, I'm sticking to my guns. I'm sticking long-term hodl. I don't really care. I'm DCA buying whatever I can. Any bit of breadcrumb money I can put in. Depression prices, man, they don't come and last forever. Once they're finally done, you'd be surprised. Crypto, oh, where's the liquidity? That's it. See you later. Okay, and you're going to regret it. What if Bitcoin does scam us at 80K? You're going to really regret not having bought in the depression zone. And we'll just finish off, friends, with the stock market. The stonks right here, when they were in the poopy poop bear market, went down 27% for the S&P 500. We are still doing really great. I mean, look, if you just look through, let me just tell you something, okay? Notice how there's a lot of red and green. You know that in stonks? There's a 50-50 chance. It's near 50-50 whether something's going to be red or green. It's just that, on average, the greens are a tiny bit higher. So you can't guess, be like, okay, I'm always going to be just bet on a green candle at the end of every close. You can't do that. The S&P 500 is too efficient. But if you notice, there are always red candles, friends. There's always bad news that comes out. Bad news here, bad news here, bad news here. There's bad news here. This was even before the 2020. This was the zombie virus, okay? Look at all this. Always bad news, bad news. So what I'm doing is just drawing your attention to all the reds. You see all these reds? They come out. There's always something going on. Okay, someone said this. Someone's losing the plot. Someone's got a bad trade deal. Someone didn't like Vladimir Putin's cake, so they went and cooked a new one, and everyone's lost their minds. All of this stuff, it just keeps coming out every single time. But guess what? That's what makes a bull market. A bull market is involving when you climb the wall of worry. There's always things to worry about. Always. Up here, this is the funny part. We're all complacent up here in 2021 because no one was worried about anything. They're just like, we're printing money. Everything's sweet. This is obviously the final crypto part. It's funny. So it's very, very important to be in touch with this. So you notice this, we had a lot of green candles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 green candles. Yeah, give us some red. I know it sounds so simpleton, but it actually comes down to it. It's like, I can just tell you right now, okay, there's going to be some green and red. At some point here, there's going to be another thing we're worried about, and everyone's going to think it's over. It's the same story over and over again. Now, that doesn't change the fact that I still think there is a chance, the old S&P 500 friends, she's a beast. She's a fire-breathing beast, and when nobody is safe, it's still very possible we do some sort of fakery, and then bang, see you later, and then come back down, and before we know it, that is our bull market cut off here somewhere. It's possible, right? 2024. You never know, man. You never know. Somewhere up here, and then everybody thinks we're going to have a great 2025. Bang. I just feel like this is how it's lining up. Because you already know, man. You already know. Everybody in crypto knows the charts. They know after you have the red year, after you have that, they all believe you have a green 2023 year, a green 2024 year, and then a green 2025 year. That's what everybody believes is programmed. And I say, well, what if we only get green and then green, right? What if that happens? What if we don't get 3 greens in a row for Bitcoin and crypto? What if everybody front runs it and we get a green here and then a green in 2024, and everybody thinks, so we're going to have to watch this, right? The sad face, when it appears, we have to watch. Does everybody believe, okay, 2025 is going to be the greatest year, so much adoption, another country's coming in, Ethereum ETF. If they start talking like that, we're going to know, unfortunately, there's a higher chance 2025 is going to disappoint and screw everybody up in the cycle. But that's for another time. At least me and you, always going to be your friend. You are a yummy donut. Like, subscribe, press the bell button and all. Tell mum and dad, we're still going to make it. Don't worry about these interest rates, friends. It's all a scam anyway. Catch you in the next one.